I mean, you guys showing up here today. Yes, yes. It makes me think about being in this room with you all and experiencing the energy and the connection and the community and sharing our stories. I always say someone can share with you in 15 minutes what it took them 15 years to learn if you listen. And how quick we forget that in the pings and the dings of life. Anyone feeling a little busy lately? Anyone feeling busy? How many people you talk to and the first thing they say are, "Oh, girl, I'm busy. How you doing? I'm busy. I didn't have a chance to eat today. I'm busy. I didn't have a chance to go to the restroom. I'm busy. I don't know how I'm going to get it all done." Like this busy badge of honor, right? Look at me. Look at how busy I am. Exhaustion as a status symbol, right? And as I've been in this room, I've been so impressed that there's pen to paper, people taking notes, putting down those damn phones. Anywhere you go, we are head down in the screen. It's almost like we've moved robotic. And we've forgotten how to be human with each other. How many people you talk to, they can't even look you in the eyes? And it makes me think about this mask hiding that we're all doing, all hiding behind a mask. And you might look at me on surface level and see so many things. One, that I love myself a little pleather action, right? One, that I love myself a little sneaker. God bless the sneaker game, right? Amen to that. But what you don't see is that I'm an addict. I'm an addict, and I have a hunch that you are too. This addiction to being busy, to getting the validation, to getting you to like me at whatever cost. Think about your own life. When you think about this being busy, how many of us have our phone in the hands hitting refresh as we're on our way to the damn grocery store? Like you can't wait 5 minutes. How many of us take the phones in the bathroom with us? I do. How many of us eat the lunch over the screen cold because we don't have enough time to warm it up? I lived my life for 15 years off protein bars and string cheese because I had to get it all done. Right? It creates this mentality that we have with ourselves of, you know what, I'll be happy when. I'm just going to hustle till this project's done. I'm just going to hustle till I get in this size jean. I'm just going to hustle till I get this in the bank account. Then I'm going to be happy. And then you get the thing and you're like, you know what? That didn't satiate the appetite. That's not it. So it must be something else. So you move the goalpost on yourself to something else now. That's another ladder that you think that's it. And it creates this hustle at a Herculean sprint because you think you can do 86,000 things in a day because you think you're superhuman, and then ridicule yourself for the things you didn't get done. How many of us do that? Never celebrate what we did do. It's always like, oh my God, I didn't send that. I didn't call my mom back. I didn't send that message back. I suck. I fail, never thinking about the stuff that you did do. And this ladder never ends, my friend, because it is you versus you versus you. And I know this because I have lived this life for 15 years, this addiction to it, and I'm still struggling with it. So I had lived my life under this idea of I'll be happy when I get the next promotion. I'll be happy when I get that corner office job. That's going to fix everything. Hashtag surface level thinking. So I get that job, right? Like you think the job's going to fix everything. I get the job. And then life, universe, divine, man, she has a sixth sense of humor, doesn't she? I finally get the job and I have a breakdown, a mental breakdown on the busiest highway in Philadelphia. Mental breakdown. And I realized in that moment, and it was ugly and it was raw. And isn't it amazing how life can do that? Man, that was 7 years ago. And I can go back to that on 76. The car was shaking on the shoulder of the highway because the Mack trucks were going by so fast. And I thought to myself, how did my life get here? Well, simultaneously, I also had an awakening that I was living my life like an addict, focused on getting the job done, getting it to agree, getting you to like me, so much that I sacrificed myself at all costs for it. It sucked the joy out of life and it was never enough. And I realized that I had spent my whole life running from myself. That is me with my mama. And God, it gets me choked up. 40 years old and it still gets me choked up. That she was a single mother, raised two kids by herself at 23 years old. And yeah, I know, listen, I'll tell you this. I don't care if you're a single parent or if you're a mama raising a kid with a partner, you are superhuman. It's amazing what mama's love will do. Yes. And I never, yeah, here's to moms. And we were raised, we didn't have much, but we had a lot of love. Obviously, I wasn't shy around an Oreo at this time in my life. Love me a little Oreo. We still can't have them in the house because I go knee deep. You can't have just one Oreo. I was a C student. I had a speech impediment, and I never felt like I was worthy, like I was good, like I had anything to contribute. And so the first thing that made me feel like I had something to give was my job. And like a drug, man, I was addicted to it. And I realized in this moment, as I'm having this awakening alongside 76, the worst place to have a awakening, is that if your family was like mine, we didn't talk about the hard stuff. Emotional feeling, anything yucky or murray, man, you ran up to your room and you stuffed that down. And when you don't have the toolkit, when you don't have the language to deal with these emotions, man, you look for a safe harbor, a life raft, something to hang on to so you don't drown. And for me, it was my job. But think about what it is for you. It could be the overspending. It could be the booze. It could be the relationship. Hell, at one point I had a mixture of all three. We talk about, and this is what pisses me off. We talk about listening to our gut whispers. We love a big buzzword in our world, don't we? And it's hard to navigate. You don't even know what it means, and it sounds easy. Listen to your gut whisper. Burnout recovery, self-care, hit the pause. Well, what the hell does that mean? Right? What does that mean? Listen, guys, I'm barely hanging on. What does that mean? So in your life, I want you to think, when you pour yourself the extra drink at night and you finish the bottle and you said you were only going to have one drink, right? How many times do we do that? I used to justify it and say, well, I mean, it's only 4 glasses, right? When you answer the emails late at night, even though you have just this little gymnast in here that is telling you put the phone down and you can't. When you go to pick up your phone to do the one thing, whether it's texting someone, putting something in your calendar, and before you know it, hours have gone by, right? That is because 45% of the decisions that you make, that I make, that we make as humans are on autopilot. It is your brain saying, hey, buddy, you know what? We always do this, so this is what we're going to do. And it's hard. It is hard. These familiar thoughts, the certainty and significance that 96% of us crave, and we'll do shit that we know isn't good for us because we get the high from it. We crave it. And when you try to detox from it, when you try to go out of the lane that you're used to, that's when you get the withdrawals. That's when you have the craving. And that, my friend, is when those gremlins start in here. You know those gremlins? That roommate that lives in here that starts typing all sorts of stuff at you, so you remain unchanged. You remain unchanged. And the hardest thing to do for any of us is starting. And I want to gift you, my friends and beautiful human beings, these three keys that I have used over the last 7 years to take my life from existing to living. And here's the really cool thing, guys. You can too. I'm here to tell you it's not a unicorn. It's not a myth. You can have a life that you actually want to be a part of and present, and not one where you think, I just got to make it through today. Oh my God, when's that next vacation? How many of us say, when's Friday? Right? So I want to gift you these 3 keys. Key number 1, making time for you. And guys, this is simple. This is real simple. Making time for you. Making time for you. How many of you get up, crack open an eyelid, roll over, and you go right to the phone? You start scanning the emails and you go, stupid, idiot, moron, reread the email. Huh? Done that. You start scanning the social feed. You feel like crap about yourself. You watch the news. The world's falling apart. You do that for 3 minutes, my friend, and you have a 70% higher chance of having a bad day. 3 minutes. 3 minutes is all it takes. So I ask you, are you making time for you? And here's what I mean by this, because I'm all about the tangible. Tangible. What do? Instead of scrolling social, instead of scrolling the emails, instead of going to the news, I want you to take that time when you pour yourself a cup of coffee, and I want you to ask yourself these 4 questions. 1, how am I feeling today and why? That's it. That's it. How am I feeling today and why? Second question, what is one act of service that I can do for someone else in my life? For me, sometimes it's as simple as leaving a love note for my husband by the coffee machine, or texting a girlfriend and saying, thinking of you, or dropping a note to that colleague, hey, you killed that presentation yesterday. One act of kindness, my friend, it is amazing the high that you get. And I'm here to tell you, when I do that, 98% of the time, someone sends me a message back, says, you have no idea how bad I needed to hear that. Third, what is one thing can do today that'll make me happy? One thing that'll make you happy. It can be walking outside to feel the sun on your face. It can be reading the book. It can be taking the salsa dancing class that you've always wanted to take, but it's 4:30 on a Tuesday, so you keep telling yourself it's not going to work, right? You make the time for you. Key number 2, keep the promise to yourself. Funny story. I love me a calendar invite. Anybody here love a calendar invite? Matter of fact, I just made my husband send me one the other day. We were at home. We live 5 minutes from the bank, and he said, hey, Meg, can we run down to the bank today to do A, B, C, and D? And I was like, can you send me a calendar invite? And he did. And he did. I love a calendar invite, but here's what's changed with my calendar. Instead of always marking the thing off for me, how many of us do that? You know what? I'll reschedule that doctor's appointment. You know what? I won't go to the DMV. You know what? I won't take that walk. I don't have time. I'm busy. That's how the Darth Vader moments start, my friend. That's why that one little email sent you over the edge. That's why the traffic set you over the edge. That's why your kid said something and you flip out, because all of your days is around everybody else's wants and needs of your time. So when you woke up today and you said, you know what? I've been dying to get into that book. It's getting dust on the nightstand table. I'm going to read it. You block the 10 minutes and you do it. And you do it. If you wanted to go for the walk and you said, you know what? At lunch today with what even is that anymore? Lunch, right? We're all so busy. But 12 o'clock, I'm going to go for a walk outside. I'm going to take the dog. I'm going for a walk outside. It's a beautiful day. Well, life happens. All your calls has run over. It's now 12:45. Instead of saying, screw it, I only have 15 minutes before my next call. You do it anyway. It's not about the time. It's about the commitment, my friend. You keep the promise. And then key number 3, consistency. Our world loves to have you think that you're going to be motivated. You're going to feel like getting out there and it's going to be great. And here's what I want to tell you, my friend. No, it sucks. You're going to hate it. And this gremlin in here is going to tell you, don't do it, right? So instead of saying, you know what, you're right, I'm not. I'll just wait tomorrow to do that thing. You know what, I'll send them that message later, and then tomorrow comes and you keep don't we love to should all over ourselves? Should. And the way that you break through it is like Nike said, just do it. Just do it. Consistency. You make time for you. You keep the promise to yourself and you do it consistently, even when you don't feel like it. And I'm sure I have friends out there that are thinking, that's just hokey. This is stupid. I'm not doing that. Here's what I want to tell you. Isn't it the simplest things that we know we should do, but that we don't do? You look at anyone's life and look at their daily habits. I like to call them these building blocks, right, of our life. And I ask you how you're getting up in the morning, how you're moving your body, what you eat, the promises you make and keep to yourself, the conversations in here. It lays the foundation for your life. It does. And these keys, these 3 simple keys of making time for you, keeping the promise to yourself, and doing it consistently, it's meant to spring you into action and move you through the biggest barrier that you and I have. And it's the gremlin that lives in here. Because when you think of it, like we just talked about, we carry our phone with us anywhere. I guarantee in this room right now, we could find a solution to anything. So it's not about the information, it's about a lack of action. I challenge each one of you, my friends and beautiful human beings, over the next 24 hours. I want you to make one promise to yourself. I want you to keep it, and I want you to see how you feel on the other end. Because, my friend, in a world where you're making promises to everyone else all day long, why not make and keep a promise to you? Carry on with intention. Mwah.